Alright YouTube, I'm back. Now this video is going to be, a lot of people is asking questions from company drivers standpoint, because some people are company drivers and they haven't yet took the leap to jump into a lease purchase or purchasing a truck. And a lot of their questions is, how should I lease? Like, how do I get into lease? And getting into a lease is fairly easy. Like, it depends on the company that you go with. Obviously, you have your super mega carriers, like you got Snyder, you got Knight, you have Prime, you have where I'm at, USA. Then you even have lease companies, which I believe is better if you go through like smaller lease companies, like maybe Long Mountain. Quality used to do leases, but I heard they treat their drivers bad with the leases, so I wouldn't recommend Quality. And then also going to the actual Freightliner dealership or like a Peterbilt dealership or Volvo. It depends on your preference. So when it comes to answering that question about how do I get into getting my own truck so that I can start being what they call a quote-unquote owner, my way of what I'm trying to do is not going to be your way. So once again, as I always say in a lot of my videos, you have to inspect yourself and inspect your dreams, inspect your passion, figure out what do you want out of trucking, which route are you trying to take. And obviously the number one route that people are trying to take is money, the dollar sign. I mean, a lot of people do it for fun because they just truly love trucking. Like me, I think trucking is sexy as hell. Like, I look at a truck, and to be honest with you, like, my truck is my husband. Like, I'm married. You're right, I'm married, and I'm married to my Freightliner Cascadia. That is my husband. So I have the passion for it, but I do get burnt out because trucking is not an easy job doing it day in and day out. It can wear you out. So when it comes to trying to lease or buy a truck, you have to put together your own personal goals, your own personal plans. What bills, first of all, before you get into anything that's involving starting off your business and to be like really optimal, I would recommend you get your bills down as low as you can. And I'm not saying that it's impossible for people with kids to do this, because obviously I have 5 kids and I'm doing it. But my thing is, if you can do it with no kids, or wait till your kids get old enough to where they either out the house or about to be out the house, that's great for you, because you can actually be on the road a lot more. Because to be honest, home time is a must-have, especially when you have a family. But you're really not going to be optimal with your money going home all the time. Like, you really do have to be out there to get paid. And if you're leasing a truck, especially if you're going to lease, most of the time people feeling themselves to where they get a brand new truck. So I guess I was feeling myself because I got a brand new truck, but I don't regret it. I will always get a brand new truck, because if I'm going to be out there on that road, y'all know me, I'm going to be comfortable. So that's my personal preference. I don't care. I don't mind working. But I finally found a company to where, even though I have a brand new truck, I'm home every week. I can be home every single week to do my 34-hour reset and still make the same thing that I was making at Prime. So I'm happy with that. So you got to find your happy point. And I started my career in trucking, started off with Prime Inc. And I had the option to go lease or go company. But when I did my training with another lease driver. So pretty much my training was all information on how to run my truck as a lease person. So my mentality is, once I learn something, starting off, my mentality is I like to stick with what I know. I don't like to try to deviate from this to that, because I don't really do good with switching up like that. I mean, I can adapt. Like, I'm very adaptable, but in my preference, I'd rather stick with what I know because I can be more successful. So, like, when I was with my trainer on the Prime truck, like, the whole time I was on there, I was looking up YouTube videos, reading. Like, I was trying to figure out, because a lot of people want to tell you, man, if you go lease or if you buy a truck, you better be careful, man, because you responsible. You got all these liabilities. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. If the truck break down, you might not have the money. blah, 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 all that negativity. So in my head, I considered it, but I'm like, no, it can't be that bad, because me, I don't like answering to nobody. Like, I like to do what I want, when I want. Freedom is my number one goal. So I don't care how much negativity in my ear. My main thing is when I got my mind set to something, I don't care what nobody say, I'm about to go get it. So I always wanted a business, period. So I didn't care how I was going to do it. And at the time, I had just filed my taxes to where I had at least enough to where I could have put down on a truck, or I could have leased. But I feel like my opinion is, if you don't have, like, say you a new person, you don't have, I would say at least 2 years in the game, I would say do a short-term lease and figure out if this is what you want to do. Like, get your feet wet first. Don't just don't just jump into financing a truck, and then, because obviously when you finance a truck, you're more committed to that finance versus a lease. Because a lease, a lot of leases are walk-away lease, to where either you can pay a certain amount to walk away, or it's $0 to where you just turn the truck in, as long as it ain't got no damages, and you walk away. So I said, you know what? Could I put down and just finance a truck? But then now that I look back on it and been calling around, I wouldn't have been able to do that in the beginning of my career anyway, because before an insurance company will pick you up as a new truck driver, you have to have a minimum of 2 years of OTR driving experience before any insurances that even look your way. So I would just really have to say, as far as buying a truck, get 2 years in the game first. You have to. Because ain't no insurance company, that you have to have insurances, to finance your truck. Get your 2 years in the game. Get your money saved up. I would say at least have $20,000 saved up. Shoot, if you can save up like $50,000, that's great. But $20,000 can be saved up real quick, especially if you ain't got a lot of bills and you ain't got no kids, and you stacking away probably $200 to $500 every pay. And you doing this every week, you can have that 20 grand probably plus more by the end of the year, but you got to be disciplined. So, like I said, a lot of times when you have a lot of overhead as far as like your bills at home and then your kids, that can be a little challenging, because I got a couple $1,000s saved, but it's nowhere near my goal. And it's because my kids, they drain my pockets. And, I had situations come up the way I had to spend money on lawyers for my kids. And then I had to move. It was so much stuff coming up to where it's just drain. And then I had to pay my babysitter. So I'm coming out of pocket every which way, whether it's for my fixed costs, whether it's for my variable costs, and part of my variable costs is home costs. So I'm paying a whole lot of overhead, but my overhead is not going to be like this forever. So my personal goal is I give myself at least another year or two, and a lot of my overhead should be coming down to where I should be at least at the $50,000 mark. I give myself 2 years to get my 50K saved. Probably more than that, because like I said, I'm good with saving. It's just I got to get hands out my pocket. So, but I would have to say these first, if you new to the game. But if you got experience, say you've been a company driver for 10 years, what are you waiting for? You know what trucking is about. For the most part, as a company driver, you should know the lanes. Like, you should pretty much understand lanes for the most part. Only thing you probably would have to learn is how to fuel, because obviously as a company driver, you spending the company's fuel money. So you probably not even keeping track of like budgeting on your fuel. So if you're a company driver and you thinking about, about to step over into the lease, learn to budget now with your fueling, with saving, get your 3 accounts, business accounts, work on filing your LLC, work on figuring out what the name of your company going to be. So that way you can file it. And a lot of times you have to have a representative of your LLC for that state. So you need to prepare with that. You got 2 ways you can even do that. You can file it yourself through the state of where you live at, or you can go to some places. I went through LegalZoom because I work so much that, I want to save money, but man, I'd be so tired. If I can pay somebody to do something that can take a load off me, I do. So, I probably could be my own CPA. But sorry guys, got cut off. But, I paid somebody to file them. So at the end of the day, like I said, sit down and get to know what you want. That's the first goal to anything. Like, a lot of times you can't achieve nothing if first of all, you don't even know what you're looking for, what you want. So figure out your experience. You have 2 years or more. That's number one. Figure out, what you just want to test drive, being an owner op. So get a short-term lease. Because some short-term leases can go from 3 months to a year to 2 years. And then if you do a lease purchase, like my lease purchase is a 4-year, a 4-year thing. And sometimes, financing, they got 4-year finances, but then you can get a used truck to where it might be like a year, 2-year finance. So it really depends on what you want. Do you want a new truck? Do you want a used truck? If you do get a used truck, do you got enough capital saved? So if something go wrong with that truck, you got a cushion to where you can hurry up and get your truck back on the road. Because obviously if your wheels is not rolling, you're not making money. So you don't want to work backwards. So always have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. If you do get a used truck, make sure you got great warranty, like some type of warranty still on it. So you want to go to your warranties first when something go wrong with the truck versus you going in your pocket. You want to go in your pocket as less as possible for anything. So, I'm going to have to piece this together. But if y'all have any more questions, I'm going to cover it. It was this one topic that I've been meaning to talk about, and it was dealing with field tax. And I'll be having so many topics I'll be trying to cover, and sometimes I forget to cover it because I'll be doing so much and I'll be trying to keep up with everything. But if y'all want me to cover a topic and maybe I forgot, just remind me. I don't mind. Just keep, hey, did you get a chance to cover this? And I'm like, oh shit, I was supposed to cover that. I got you. So, all right then. I hope that answered some of the questions, but you have to really get to know yourself. Get your experience. Figure out, do you want to use or a brand new truck? But remember, if you get a brand new truck, you're going to work a lot harder because you want to have higher monthly payments or higher weekly payments if you're doing lease. Figure out the insurances. Figure out your home bills. Figure out what you can afford. Figure out, do you have younger kids to where you can devote time even if you got them? Like, figure all this stuff out so that way you can be successful. Because it's nothing worse than you really wanted to do own an op, and then as soon as you get in it, you fail. Failure is not an option. You want to prepare yourself so when you step your foot into this own an op thing, you're going to shoot through the roof, not crash to the ground. So you can do it. If I'm doing it, you can do it. And I feel like, and I know that I can be a lot further, but I had a lot of obstacles that I'm finally getting over, and a lot of my situation is starting to smooth out. So God is good, At least I didn't quit. I'm still in it. Things is getting better for me. I mean, I pat myself on the back because I come a long ways. So, okay, guys, I hope this was of any help. Time is the essence. Let's make better time of it. It's time for your success, man. Don't doubt yourself. Scared money don't make no money. How will you know what you can do and you never even did it? It's nothing wrong if it didn't work the first time. If it don't work the first time, try it again. Try something different. Learn from your mistakes. If things happen, it's not about what happened. It's about, did you learn from it? So remember that. But all right, y'all. I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. So this is...